welcome to the show. I don't know why I keep doing that. Like I already have an intro. We don't need to do a second intro. We don't need to be introduced twice, okay? But welcome. This is a walking podcast. You need to be walking as you are listening. You don't need to be, but you should be because this is a walking podcast. I'm Ricky, your host, and I am a motivational speaker, a podcaster, a top 100 podcaster. Thanks to all my amazing listeners and an entrepreneur, a mentor, a creator, and just a human being like you, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And this week, I don't ever think about what I'm going to talk about until I get onto the mic and I just sort of speak from whatever it is that I'm feeling. And I have been feeling a lot of different things, and we're always feeling different things, but I want to talk about a few things that I am currently thinking about and working towards. First and foremost, before I even begin, let's backtrack here. I just wanted you to know that if you are somebody that is looking to walk away from weed, we have the program, and right now I'm going to be offering it. Well, from now on, it's going to be offered as a course that you'll be able to take, videos you can watch, and you could also join for the live Q&As that we'll have monthly, and you'll get an incredible workbook and all this really awesome stuff. And I just wanted to thank everyone that's been a part of this journey with me, because we just celebrated 1 year of the program, which is pretty freaking awesome. And what's even more awesome about that is when I get messages from people that were in the first or second or third round of the program, and they're like, it's my 1 year, or it's my 8 month, or it's my 9 month. And it's like, this program is revolutionary. It just is. And I can't believe a year ago, someone on TikTok said, hey, do you help people walk away from weed? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I just created something. I didn't think about it. I just did it. I knew in my heart and my soul that I had the tools to teach people how to walk away. And I was right. And I'm so grateful I didn't think about it too much. I'm so grateful I didn't talk myself out of it or have that self-doubt of like, oh, well, I don't have the experience or the credibility. Like, fuck that. Definitely had the experience. I definitely had the credibility. We don't need credibility to be a certificate anymore. And that program taught me so much, just starting something like that and being able to reach so many people, to help so many people. Hundreds of people have gone through walking away from weed, and it's incredible. And there were so many things that I did that were amazing. And there were a lot of mistakes that I made too, from a business standpoint, from a leadership standpoint. And that's how you grow and that's how you learn. I was able to bring in almost $80,000 from that program. And I'm so proud of that. And the way that I was doing it wasn't sustainable. And I definitely should have brought in people to help me earlier on, because I was only building one offer and constantly trying to market the same offer and get new clients. And it's just not the best way to build a business. So the lessons have been tough in terms of, it wasn't sustainable for me to do the way that I was doing it, which is why now I am working on this back end stuff so that I'm able to offer this program to the masses, because I want everyone to have an opportunity to change their life like this. But I can't do it live every month anymore. So if you're someone that has been waiting for me to do it live, I just want you to know that I don't know that I'm going to be doing this live. I might do this live, like a big thing once or twice, but you've had a whole year to sign up. And if you waited, then there's a different way for you to be able to experience the program. And by the way, the experience is really, truly the same because the content is the same. So we're working on that, which is really exciting. And I do want to be able to offer this to millions of people, because I think the problem is that big, millions. I think the problem is in the millions. And I'll be able to add more to it as well that I wouldn't be able to do necessarily live. So if you're somebody that is looking for that support, you can message me and I will get you on the wait list for the program. And if you're someone that's fallen off track, if you've already done the program, let's talk, get you back on, because, there's so many different phases to the journey. And so I'm really excited about that. And I was thinking about the next chapter, right? The programs you create, the things that you talk about, they have to evolve. And I have totally just been in that between space. And it's not an easy place to be, because there's so many things I can help people with. I can help you start a podcast. I can help you walk away from so many different things in your life, walk towards your potential, start a business. And so I'm really just trying to figure it out. And it's stressful for sure, because I'm the kind of person that I respond really well to things. So I'm human design. I don't know if you're into it or not, but I'm a 4-6 generator and I am just a responder to life. So I don't just like create things out of thin air unless it's like in response to something. Like my podcast, I had this like weird feeling. I was like responding to it, and walking away from weed happened so naturally. Like I embodied this transformation, and there's so many things, I've had people reaching out to me recently about starting a podcast. Like I am just sort of like in this between space of, I know what I can help people with, and I want to be able to offer all these things. But I also know at the same time that alignment's really important to me, and the energy behind why I'm doing something is important to me. And so right now I'm focusing on getting the Walking Away from Weed program together. I am creating some stuff and just trying to figure out just what to do with all of it, to be quite honest with you, because I know that there's so many things I can help with, and sometimes that overwhelms me. So if you're in a between space, maybe you're 20,000 steps ahead from where you used to be, but you're kind of at that space where you're like, I don't know what the next step is in my business or my life. Let's more focus on the business right now. Like there is that space between, and a lot of people don't talk about it. It's called the void. I don't know if it's called the void. I just named it that, but there is a space between what you were doing and what you are going to be doing next. And that space can feel overwhelming because it's like, if you're someone like me who needs to feel the energy to move and you don't feel the energy, then where do you go? And this plays into also just like the ADHD brain where I get hyper-focused on things. And so when I'm not hyper-focused on something, I'm usually hyper-focused on my emotions, which is no good for anybody. Or I get hyper-focused on the fact that I'm not hyper-focused or not like doing something else. You know what I mean? So it is a space between, but it's space and you take it. And I'm working on being okay with the space between, throwing some things out there and working through things and trusting the process, trusting that the next idea and the next offer, it will show up. And that, if you focus only on what you're not doing, but you have to focus on what you have done or what you are doing, right? So I could be like, yeah, I don't know what comes next after walking away from weed or where I'm going to impact, what I'm going to do. But I can also pay attention to the fact that, I'm booked for 8 podcasts to be a guest in people's podcasts for the next 6 weeks. That's huge. And just the fact that I'm having someone help me, an assistant help me with certain things. Like if you focus on what you haven't done, you will, and what you're lacking, like you will stay in lack. But if you can say like, yeah, I've done this, this, and this, and I'm working on this, and that's okay. So just a quick reminder that it's okay to be in the in-between, because you can still move when you're in the between, right? Because we're always in the in-between. And I know that for me, that's a tough place to be for sure. But I'm trying to be open about it to show people that it's okay and it's super normal for our businesses to ebb and flow, for our lives to ebb and flow, for us as human beings. And if we can focus on what we can control, which are our daily habits and the decisions that we make and the things that we invest in and the people we hang out with and our thoughts. I know it doesn't always feel like you can control your thought, but you can control the action that you take. If you can't control the thought, you can control the action. So just a reminder that there is always between space. You feel really aligned and you're going and you're great and everything's awesome. And then there's a stop. I don't understand it either. I really don't. Maybe it's like you outgrow something, or I don't know. I'm working right now. I am doing a lot of work, like shadow work and all that stuff, because I'm always improving. And the more that I improve, the more I can teach, right? I actually heard someone today say like, if you're not evolving and growing, you will always stay where you're at. But like, even as a business owner, like you will always attract the same clients because you're always in that same place. And that's very true. And I'm really looking to work and call in people that are really ready to change their life. And so I know that as a person, I have to embody a lot of different things. And so do you. But you don't have to be perfect to lead. You don't. You won't. If you wait till you're perfect to lead and you wait till you're perfect till you're allowed to be loved or in a relationship, like you'll never be either. You'll never lead and you'll never be loved. Yeah, that makes sense. I say something out loud and I'm like, yeah, that was good, Ricky. Good job. Why are we all so scared? Listen, I'm scared too. I got a lot of fears I'm working through, but I'm always moving nonetheless. But yeah, it's fucking scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to be in a void. It's scary to be at a pause. It's scary to have to heal more. It's like, oh, does this shit end? Does this end? But you keep fucking moving, okay? And you give yourself space and grace because you're not where you used to be. And sometimes we go forward, and then we come to a stop, and then we stop, and then we take a step backwards, then we go forward, and then we pause, and it's like a fucking video game. And we're just playing. But the game only ends when you end it. So you keep playing. You get to new levels. And then scary thing, wall is right in front of you, and you got to jump over it. And maybe you jump over it and you fall. But what if you jump over it again and again and again? I definitely have been living in my head, and it's done nothing for me. So I don't recommend living in your head. Stop thinking about things so much and accept where you're at and be okay with that because it is totally okay. I'm going to keep this short today because honestly, I don't really have a lot to say right now. And that's okay too, because this podcast is the truth. And sometimes we don't have a lot to say. Sometimes we are out talked. I know my cousin would laugh right now if she heard this because I literally call her all day and we talk all day. And like, she's just like, I can't keep up with you. I'm like, I can't keep up with you. And then I come on the podcast and I'm like, I'm tired. But don't be so judgmental of yourself if you're in the in-between space, okay? Just know that you won't always be here. You never, ever stay here, ever. So just trust that it might not feel like you're moving right now, but I promise one day you'll fucking be running and then you'll forget that you were ever standing still in the first place. I love you. Please message me if you're interested in getting on the wait list for the Walking Away from Weed course program. And if you are looking to expand in your business and you're an entrepreneur and you are looking to build an offer, if you are looking to start a podcast, I would love to talk to you because that's my jam and that's where I thrive, just like as a visionary and as a builder and as a producer. And I would love to be able to help you launch a podcast or launch your business, your offer, and help you really bring in your vision and your messaging and your marketing because that's a part of who you are. It's not just business, it's you. So I love you guys and I'll see you next week.